My name is Tammy Thomas. I was a member of the U.S. cycling team. During my quest to become an Olympic champion, I found myself involved with two nefarious coaches who used their position of trust to exploit me into doing things that I wouldn't ordinarily do. Sex, drugs, witchcraft, and cycling. My first coach began to inject me with dangerously high doses of testosterone in 1996 under the guise that it was vitamin B12. In the beginning, I believe it was just vitamins. But there came a point when I began to discover changes in my physique. I questioned my coach about this. His response was that he would never do anything to harm me, and that I had to trust him. He said he couldn't coach me if I didn't trust him, and that I would never make the national team without his help. By the time I realized that I had been given testosterone, it was too late. I was hooked on this substance. I felt good. I was invincible. And I was fast on the bike. By the time I first started testing positive for steroids, my drug use was apparent to everyone but me. Everyone else could see it, but I couldn't, because my coach told me that I looked good. But I didn't look good. I ended up living with this coach. One winter, we got into a huge blowout argument, so I moved to Gainesville to train with another coach. That's where I met Gary, a bodybuilder. He became very possessive of me right from the start. Gary lived 20 miles out from town in the middle of the sticks. There wasn't another house in sight. He would keep me there against my will. Sometimes he would mend my car keys to make sure that I wouldn't crank up and leave. Other times, he would hold a gun in my hand. Gary tried to kill me by strangulation one night. If not for my roommate, I wouldn't be standing here today. I went back to living with my coach and his drugs down in Miami. My coach introduced me to someone known as the Babaloa, the highest priest of Santeria and witchcraft. At first, I told myself not to let the witchcraft influence me at all because my God was the one and only God. But living under the same roof as witchcraft had a dramatic impact. There were too many evil influences. I eventually started using undetectable substances, and they served their purpose for a while until the drug testers figured out my ruse. For this, I became the first cyclist to receive a lifetime ban for doping. I went from living the dream life of an athlete at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs to living in Yazoo City. My career as a cyclist was over, and I had no plans for the rest of my life. I started a new sport in powerlifting. I became a world champion and world record holder in that sport. But I was depressed. I'd gained a ton of weight. I needed to make some changes in my life. I went to a Billy Graham crusade in Pasadena, California, and I slowly started to make the right choices. I went to law school. Law school was stressful. And I hadn't yet dealt with the trauma from my coaches and the side effects, the irreversible side effects from steroids. I was stressed out, unhappy, and I hated my body. But I kept going because I wanted a better life. Then, in December of 2006, I was indicted for perjury and obstruction of justice. I fell apart, and I found myself in a psychiatric ward for the first time. It wasn't the last time either. The feds came after me with everything they had and sought a 25-year prison sentence. It was a very public and humiliating trial. I lost. Now I was a felon for life. Fortunately, the judge ordered 5 years of probation, 500 hours of community service, and home confinement. I wore an ankle bracelet to monitor my whereabouts. There was unannounced drug testing, unannounced visits from my probation officer, and if I wanted to travel outside the jurisdiction, here in Mississippi would be one exit past Canton, I had to seek special permission 2 weeks in advance. And if permission was granted, they send my lovely mugshot to the jurisdiction and let them know I was coming. I was in and out of school, but I kept going, and I finally obtained my law degree in 2010. The last time I sought help for mental illness, I finally realized that the help that I need doesn't exist. So I leaned on God more than ever before. I'm here today to give hope to all those women out there in similar situations. Always have hope. Never give up. God has plans for your life. If you maintain hope during troubled and uncertain times, you'll be rewarded double for your trouble.